Welcome to Take It or Leave It, where I find a viral video and ask my husband / personal trainer of 10 years whether we should take it or leave it. This video specifically is about a different approach on how to build muscle.
Here's the best way to lift to gain muscle: reverse pyramid training. After you've warmed up, you want to do your heaviest set first. That's actually when you're strongest. As you work out, you break down muscle, you get weaker. And so you want to hit that heavy set when you're fresh. That way you can best promote strength and muscle gains. You do your heavy set first, 4 to 6 reps, 3 minutes rest, drop the weight and go for 6 to 8 reps. Take 3 minutes rest, drop the weight again and go for 8 to 10 reps. You hit the entire rep range and you do your heaviest set first. And that first heavy set actually gets your body to recruit more muscle fibers. So when you go lighter, the weight feels so easy and you're getting more muscle activation than you normally would out of a lighter set.
So here's why I chose this video.
Yeah.
Is because I think there's so many approaches that you can take to building muscle. But this was interesting because it went from heavier weight to lighter weight. It had a bunch of different, like, you can do this instead of that and try this instead of that. And I just want to know.
It's a strategy to build muscle for sure. But as you said, there's a lot of different ways to build muscle. So this is just a strategy among many effective strategies. So it shouldn't be the only way that you work out.
Okay, so if you're going to incorporate this, what does that look like? Because you're saying it shouldn't be the only way, right? So what about that shouldn't be the only way?
Think of it more like if you're gonna work out in like program in 4, 6, 8 week blocks, however long you make your phase last, then do it for a phase and do this style and then move back to a different type of way. Reverse it, because you got the pyramid, you got the reverse pyramid. You can do both, where you're going, like he said, from heavier to lighter across the sets. You can go from lighter to heavier. That's also effective. You'll still, especially with 3-minute rests, you'll be recovered. You can still lift heavy by set 3 if you're taking those really long rests, which is a good thing. I don't say really long to say that it's bad, because being fully recovered going into your exercise, like, that's great. Especially if you have the time to spend that long recovering. But you can do that. You can do straight sets. You can do drop sets, where the last set you're dropping the weight, doing more reps, then you're dropping the weight again, doing more reps. And so as you get lighter, you can stack on a bunch of volume into that last set. You can even do cluster sets, where you do a certain amount of reps, rest a little bit, do a few more reps, rest a little bit, do a few more reps. You're not changing the weight, but you're allowing yourself to do more reps because you're taking these little mini breaks. So those are just examples of different strategies you can use. You just don't want to do any of those forever. Have a phase where you do them, then move to a different strategy.
What's the straight? You said straight rep?
Straight sets, which is just normal. Like, I'm doing 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps, and you do 8 to 10 reps for all 3 sets.
Gotcha. Okay, so it should be a part of switching it up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good strategy, like, for sure. But again, it's one of many that will work. And I think some people get hung up on, like, oh, I found this thing that worked for me, now I do it forever. And it's like, no, it's just, there's a lot of different ways you can effectively build muscle, which is why there are people out there who have bad programs, but have a pretty good amount of muscle. And it's just because they're consistent with it, they work hard at it, and there's a lot of forgiveness in your ability to build muscle if you're just lifting hard. So, like, we can get better, more optimal gains with good programming, but again, like, you can build muscle a lot of different ways. This is one of those good ways. Just don't get stuck in it.
And even with bad programming, right, it's like you still gain. Like, there's not this thing of like, oh, a bad routine is just, you're going to get nothing out of it. It's like, that's unrealistic to think. It's just, you did it this way, but if you would have done it that way, these are your results versus that, right? So it's like,
yeah, it's better results. It's not no results versus some results.
That. Interesting. Okay, so lesson learned here is what?
I mean, I'll take the strategy. The lesson learned is don't get stuck in this strategy or any strategy. So when you're programming your workouts, or if somebody else is programming them for you, you should see these different strategies utilized phase over phase. So I typically phase in like 6 weeks blocks. So if I'm doing this pyramid style, it'll be 6 weeks of that before we then go to straight sets. And then 6 weeks of that before we then go to utilizing cluster sets or something else, a different strategy. So just don't get stuck in any one strategy, because there's a lot of different ways that we can use that. And as long as we're giving the strategy some time to work, which is why I program 6 weeks, then we want to change it every so often to give ourselves variety. We don't want to change it like every day or every week. We don't need that much variety, but some variety is good. So that's where the overall strategy can change with each phase.
And I think the best advice with that is do what makes you feel better about it, right? Because I think the most discouraging thing about working out is staying motivated to stay working out. Like, it's something that I struggle with quite often. And I think that's probably the best bet, right? Is like, if you're enjoying it and it just makes you feel like you want to hit the gym harder, then yeah, do it and make that a part of your living routine. But like, that should be your main goal.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if it adds a certain level of enjoyment to it, like, that's exactly why you should utilize things like this. They're typically like intensifiers. So if you're at a plateau, if you're getting bored with your program, these are great. Because realistically, like, you could do straight sets forever and make amazing progress if you're continually pushing yourself and building progressive overload. So these strategies can be useful if you ever get plateaued, if you ever get kind of stuck, but you may not, and you may be able to do straight sets forever. Should you? That's, the question for enjoyment. I can deal with monotonous stuff.
I
cannot. Yeah. So like something like this would be more exciting for you. It certainly would be more enjoyable for me too, but like, I don't need it. Some people need it more.
Cool. So we're going to take it.
Yeah. Take the strategy. Again, just don't get stuck in it.